14-7. Second game results are unknown yet. I got a +14 against the Phillies, but they have not yet played. But I'm going ahead and playing this one a bit early, just because I feel like it. So, let's pop in and see how this looks today. Do I avoid the Nerf hammer is a big question. And the answer is yes, so that's excellent. I don't get any good days, but I also don't get any bad days, so this will be the first game this series where I get to play at my full potential. We shall see how that goes. Alright, tried a bit of an experiment with my lineup last game. I don't feel like it worked especially well, so I'm going to go to the what I'm used to with it now. Let's see what the Phillies look here. Robbie Bacco having a bad day in running, down to 3. So that'll make left field a bit more vulnerable. Every little bit helps. Mickey O'Connor with a nasty hitting boost, though. So, maybe more random bombs. Oh, what's this? Esmeralda Hyman is playing second base. Lindsey Felgate is catching it with a speed nerf. Zenon Estrada is starting this game on the mound, thanks to a great day in pitching. We got Frankie Hawley in center. Esmeralda at second, Lindsey behind the plate. This is going to be interesting to say the least. Now, Zenon might be a pretty nasty mound defender just with that fielding boost and his already good arm, but still, that's going to make this game completely different. Lance Lambert now at third base. Oh my. Oh my indeed. Crazy's defense is getting completely thrown out of whack here. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. On the other hand, Esmeralda at second might honestly be a pain for me. Ball's going in by second base now. We'll get to the base much faster. I'm not sure that'll outweigh having Lance at third base. Alright, well, if nothing else, this should be an interesting game then. Let's dive in. Stewart Up apparently is having a great day, although didn't manifest on any of the baseball ratings. Anybody's guess what's got boosted by a tiny bit. Now, if he can get on base, then he can basically take second base guaranteed with Lindsey behind the plate. So that's a nice boost on the downside. Count is already 0-2. 1-2, but if I strike out to start this game out with Stewart, that's going to be an annoying start, to say the least. And Zenon boosted up to 6 pitching. Still not the best pitcher, though. I don't know why he's still got the start with Lindsey at 7 pitching, but that's what happened. Clearly not the best pitcher, even with his boost. Now, the downside here may be if Lindsey doesn't lose stamina very quickly, and I end up with her coming on the mound as a first reliever and Zenon going behind the plate. That'll still be an upgrade from having Esmeralda back there. I think it'll make it so at least my speedsters can steal second easily, but would be better if I could have him get replaced by someone like Esmeralda instead. As predicted, Stewart steals second base easily enough. Maybe he could go for third, but it would be a bit close at this point. I don't think I need to take that risk. Anything Alexis hits that could advance Stewart to base would probably just get him to third anyway. Alright, Lindsey pops out. Not Lindsey. Alexis pops out. Not super, but I can take it. Lulu very likely to get on base. And then that'll put 2 speedsters on and 1 out with Tanya and Angela coming up. That would be very nice. I'm not sure about that one. Is low. Zenon has pitched 5 balls and 9 pitches so far. Not looking great. I don't think he's going to last too long. And Lulu hits it almost straight back to the mound, but thankfully it bounces just a bit to the side. Instead of being straight to Zenon with an easy play, it goes right past him, no play. Stewart does make it to third on the play, so we're about to have runners on second and third, with 1 out. With Tanya and Angela up, in theory, we should be able to get a couple of runs in across the plate nice and early here. Lindsey's still able to cover third decently for now. Alright, Tanya has been having a great series. Has been player of the game 3 times in the first 5 games. These slower defenses have, and a slight uptick in her own hitting, have just been working great together. But yeah, a lot of it is just that these slower defenses are just what she needs with her worse hitting. And Esmeralda guns it behind to the plate. Fortunately, Lulu able to turn around and get there safe in time. A bit close, though. And yeah, again, you know, if Lance was still playing second base, that would have been an easy score. In any case, though, Stewart still scores and an RBI single by Tanya. And Tanya can now steal second base without any trouble. So, runners on second and third and one out for Angela Del Vecchio. Solid hit here will drive in another run or two. Fouls a juicy one off. So 1-2 the count now. And high pop-up, I don't think it's going to make it out. Baco getting in position. And he drops it. Robbie Baco drops it, so that is Angela getting safely to first. Lulu is able to score on the play, making it 2-0 Melonheads. Tanya, unfortunately, not able to get to third. I was hoping she could make it, but Baco's arm was too good. Yeah, so we'll see. Honestly, I think the Phillies' defense might have been slightly improved by this. I can steal bases much more easily now, but at least on hit balls, the situation is much less favorable because with both Esmeralda and Mikey in the second and short position here, it's going to be a lot harder to get extra bases and especially extra scores. So, we'll see, but might very well lose as much as I gain here. Unless I'm able to tire out Lindsay enough. Anyway, Vicky was able to successfully single on tiny ground ball. Lindsay not able to play catcher successfully enough. Stephanie with a decent looking hit there to beat it out, but is called an infield fly for the second out. So Fernando now up. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Basically, I need to hit it somewhere where Angela has enough time to make it to third base. If so, that'll be another run scored. If not, then so much for that inning. Tony on deck. I would very much like to get the hit here. Xena, meanwhile, has thrown over 20 pitches this inning. Him on the mound is definitely not good for the Sox. Not the Sox, the Phillies. 2-1 the count on Fernando. And lines one up and straight to Mikey, unfortunately. So that's going to be it. A little further over, and that would have been in and another hit and the continuation to the rally, but unfortunately ended up going straight to the shortstop. So only 2 runs in the first for the Melonheads, but still 2 more than it could have been. Now to find out if we mirror our second game where Angela gave up, what, maybe 2 or 3 hits total to the Phillies and shut them out, or the first game where they scored 7 runs off of us. Good start as Frankie strikes out on 3 pitches. Lindsay up. It's definitely more scary to face this defense, or this offense, at Playground Commons, where they have a short porch to just swat the ball over. The deeper Casa is definitely helpful there. Should have been an easy out, but Tony decided to run away from the ball when I clicked on it. The fielding controls in this game really are bad sometimes. So Lindsay instead makes it safely to base. I swear, if Xena hits a home run now, I am going to be upset with the game. Oh, good. You've got to be kidding me. So Xena and Estrada, 2-run home run. This is a tie game. And should have just been a solo home run if the fielding controls weren't stupid and made you run away from the ball half the time. And, yeah, unless we manage to really turn on the floodgates and score kajillion runs, we have no chance of beating Crazy in this game. Not with his team hitting pace for pace with me. I don't know how you all managed to not give up a ton of runs every time you faced his team at Playground Commons. I really don't. You know, because it doesn't matter what I pitch, where I pitch it. If the AI decides it's going to hit it out, it's going to hit it out. And it's done that 5 times for me in 2 games of Playground Commons. Definitely a frustrating turn early on in the game. The runs I scored was just enough to tread water. And I know Crazy's going to put up crazy numbers on his end, so... Can be hard to keep your chin up when it doesn't feel like there's any room for error. Anyway, Lance Lambert, the hitter, we have him at 1-2 now. And hits a pop-up, that's not a home run, so, you know, I'm pretty happy. Tanya catches it for the third out, so... 2 hits and 2 runs for the Phillies, and we are going into the second inning. It is a tie game. Tony Delvecchio leads off for the Melonheads. Has had a bit of a rough series after having a bad day in the first game. He couldn't recover from the second game. Here he hits a nice one to left. Off the wall, though, so... that is only going to be a single for him, and unfortunately nobody was on base. If Fernando had managed to make it to base last inning, then that would have been quite a good opportunity, but as is... not too much you can do with that. The good news is he's probably going to be able to make it safely to second, thanks to Lindsay's forearm, but a ball like that I couldn't resist swinging at. 0-1 the count with Stewart. With my speedsters, last thing I want to do is strike out. Almost in any case, putting the ball in play is fine. So if I have a chance to put the ball in play, I'm going to go for it. And perfectly hit there. Both should be safe. Lindsay cannot get it to second base in time. Tony and Stewart both safe. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Alexis Weiss, the hitter. Had a little pop out, I think, in the first. If she can get a good hit here, then that promises good things for this game. If not, then it suggests that we're not going to have the greatest game out of the whole. 1-1 the count. Swats one, but it goes foul. 1-2. After a long series of disappointing hits with the line drive swing, I have switched gears to going all power all the time with Lindsay. And suddenly Zenon can't hit the strike zone. It's a full count now. Alexis could walk. I keep getting her confused with Lindsay because she's also in the game. And it turns out to be a bit low, so... Weiss goes down swinging. Fastballs can be pretty nasty. Even if it was a slow ball, it might have had enough time to process it was going low, but oh well. 1 out now, Lulu up, and might be difficult to not have it become 2 outs after this play. With Lulu not having much power and Tony not being very fast, getting him to third might be a tall order. We're going to go for it, though, and I'm actually going to swap to line drive here. Hoping to poke one in the gap. Zenon could also just walk her. That would work quite well. Count is 0-2. We're going to take this one. 2-1. I am also getting all sorts of names and counts and everything mixed up here on this stream. Not my greatest day of commentating. 3-1 the count, and it is indeed a walk on 5 pitches for Lulu. That's one way to get it done. Bases loaded, 1 out, and Tanya Uchida, the hitter. Let's see if she can keep up this consolation magic. Already batted in 1 run today with a single. That one looks decent, but if I hit it, it would probably just be into the right field corner. It'd probably be shifted, and Sosa would be on it right away. And that would mean I couldn't do much with it. Much better to go for one like that. That is going to land, and it is going to bounce past Frankie Holly in center field. 1 run scored, another run's there. Lulu's on her way in. I think Tanya's going to have to hold with 2 bases. Maybe, yeah. But 3 runs across, 3 RBI double for Tanya, and it's now 5-2 Melonheads. That's the sort of stuff we need. Tanya continues her amazing series, tournament. Tanya was like that in the regular season, we probably would have done significantly better. Angela now up, got a single of her own. Last inning, a home run here would be perfect. Outside for ball 2, though. And Zenon threatening to walk Angela on 4 pitches, and thus just put runners on first and second. AI playing like a annoying human here. Pitches that one in the strike zone, but Angela fouls it off. Fouls another one off, so now it's a full count. And with that, Esmeralda Hyman comes on the mound, not Lindsay Felgate. That could be significant. Zenon goes to second base. And we have Esma on the mound now. Angela hits a very high fly ball, but does not come particularly close to going off the fence, so Zenon is able, not Zenon, Frankie is able to catch it without much trouble for the second out. Now we definitely need to rally. We're in the rally part of the lineup. Vicky, Stephanie, Fernando, and with 2 outs, there's no room for error, so we'll see if we can get that rally and get any more runs scored here, or if this will be it for us in this inning. 1-1 the count on Vicky. Swing late on that one to foul it off. I think I could have put that in play easily, but messed up on the timing. And I thought that one might be low. I swung at it anyway. Vicky swings through it to strike out and in the inning. Rough way to go. These strikeouts definitely hurted me. Still, 3 more runs there. Tanya has batted in 4 of our 5 runs so far this game. Going into the bottom of the second. Let's see if we can for once stop the Phillies from scoring. Robbie Bacco leading off, having a bad day. I think it was to his running. He's 3 speed. Hopefully he doesn't make up for that by swatting one over the fence. Not this time. Swings through it for strike 3. First out. And Mikey Thomas up. Honestly, I'm happy with this. He's a lefty. I always feel like it's better to throw inside pitches to hitters than outside pitches. Maybe that's completely crazy, but I'm more comfortable with that, and inside pitches against this team on this field are just 50-50 if it's a home run. Honestly, outside pitches are too. The lefty's a bit less likely to hit it over that fence, at least if I keep pitching it inside, so. Mikey fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Whacks one here. It's not going out, though. One hop by Stewart. Toss it in, and Tanya is able to complete the relay to get him out at first. 2 outs, and Esmeralda Hyman is unlikely to accomplish much at the plate, though she's gotten on base in this series before, and that might be all it takes to set someone else up to hit her in, so don't count the chickens before they hatch. Swings through it for strike 2. Esmeralda basically the only non-threatening batter on the team this game, though. And does indeed strike out on 3 pitches to end the second inning. So we're able to actually keep our lead over the AI this time. After 2, it is 5-2 Melonheads. Let's see if we can score here. It's going to be a potentially rough part of the lineup to try to do that on. We'll see what happens. Again, I could go for grounder here, but I think I run just as much risk of groundering it straight to Mikey or Esmeralda and having it be an easy out, as I do of having it go in the right spot and having it be a hit. That's at least my reasoning, and if it does do that, it would be super frustrating. A little less frustrating if it's a pop-out to me. Instead, even with line drive, Stephanie hits a nothing ball. Lindsay is not so tired as to not be able to field that one. So first out. Not looking like we're likely to accomplish much this inning, but we'll see. Fernando, the hitter, has continued to struggle this series, as throughout the entire season. But let's see if he can get on base this time. He, in fact, grounded out on a narrowly reached ball in the first inning to end the inning, with the bases loaded. 0-2 the count, as he's already fouled one off to stay alive, and he does so with another. Honestly, they might bring Lindsay onto the mound here after Esmeralda. And I swing early. Fernando strikes out. My 3rd strikeout of this game. I am doing very badly on that front, and that's one reason I'm not doing so well in the game overall. Tony Del Vecchio, our last chance to get something good done here in this inning. Let's see if we can hit one out with him. That's not hit out. High pop-up. Mikey's under it. He catches it. So, 1-2-3 inning in the third for us. Let's see if we can at least replicate that against the Phillies. It is in the late inning rallies that we must place our hope. Still, I'm halfway to 10 runs. If I score 6 more runs this game, it'll be the 5th time in this tournament that I outscored my best regular season score. Mickey with a sharp ground ball makes it past Angela, but Tanya is able to get it for the first out. Bringing up Frankie Holly, who's already struck out once. Also worth noting, Angela now has a juice box. Swing and a miss for strike 2. He struck out on 3 pitches in the first. Can we do it again against him here? Yes, we can. Frankie not threatening much this game. Mini O'Connor custom, I like it. Brings up Lindsay Felgate, who frustratingly got onto base on a bonehead play, only to be driven by a home run in the first inning. Let's see if we can avoid those shenanigans this time. 1-1 the count. Lindsay squares up, interestingly enough. Still misses. 1-2, and she's getting ready to hit this one, but swings early. Angela's 5th strikeout of the game. We are able to make it through the third without incident. No hits for either side in the third. Going into the fourth, we're at the top of the lineup. Let's see if we can jumpstart a new rally. Stewart, our leadoff man. 2 for 2 today. With Lambert at third and Lindsay behind the plate, this is more or less a dream setup for him. As long as he puts the ball in play and not straight to Esmeralda, he is probably golden. Fouls this one off. Should probably have changed stance there, but I didn't. 1-2 the count. Able to put the bat on the ball to keep the at-bat alive. And that's going to be low. Ball 2. 2-2 the count. And gets him to swing at a high pitch, my 4th strikeout of the game. Stuart Sullivan striking out, and that's not good. If Stewart can't score runs, who can? Alright, that brings up Alexis. Swings and misses at an open zigzag. Looked like it might have been in the right spot. It was not, though. Alexis 0 for 2 today, including one of my 4 strikeouts. If she can get a good hit here, that will be a nice boost, especially if it's like a home run. Not on that pitch, though, I don't think. 2-2 the count. Gonna go ahead and swap to line drive here. Would rather get her on base than nothing at all. And I finally take one of those low pitches, and this time it turns out to actually be in the strike zone. Alexis strikes out looking. And we're at 2 outs. Let's see if Lulu can get on base, or if this is going to be another total wash of an inning. Esmeralda has been killing me on the mound so far. 4 strikeouts since she came on in, I think, the 2nd inning. And especially these really low pitches on strike 2 have been murdering me this game. Multiple times they got me to chase after it and strike out, so I finally wised up, didn't chase after it, and that time it was in the strike zone. So, what you gonna do? But with players like Stewart and Alexis falling prey to that, that really hampers my potential. Lulu is able to at least steal second base without trouble, as Tanya took a slow-mo for strike 1. The good news is they're starting to now spam the power-up pitches. Maybe they'll start tiring out their players by doing that. As Esmeralda tosses a spitball. to continue that, and that goes past Lambert. He's not getting that one in time. And that, in fact, opens a way for Lulu to go across and score. 6-2 Melonheads. We at least got one run off of there. Good work by Lulu. Let's see if Tanya can continue her streak here. Give Angela a chance to hit a bomb or something like that, instead of just being leadoff hitter of the 5th. Twin was a count. Tanya hits one well to left. Is it too well? No, just well enough. As it's one hopped by Baco. Throws it in, but wild. Mickey has to go chasing after it, and by that point, plenty of time for Tanya to get to second base. So a double by Tanya, continuing her amazing run in this series, in this tournament. And that brings up Angela Del Vecchio. A home run here would be nice. We'll see. Esmeralda leads off with 2 straight balls. Looks like maybe the fatigue's finally getting to her. I wonder who will come on next. My guess is Lindsay. I don't think I've done enough damage to him, to her, so probably about to lose that nice buffer there and have Esmeralda behind the plate for the rest of the game. Angela blasts that one. Is that gone, though? Is it? It is! 2-run home run for Angela Del Vecchio. Barely clears the fence. And that makes it 8-2 Melonheads. After a long time of Esmeralda really getting to us. Striking out hitters right and left, I think we finally cracked through her. Cracked through her pitching. I suspect she's coming off the mound very soon. One and one the count on Vicky. Vicky, one of this game's strikeout victims. That one was definitely an inside pitch. Vicky went for it anyway. Fortunately, was able to put it in play, and even though they were fielding in Lance Lambert at third base, not able to make the throw, so that was a definite benefit. The defense getting tossed out of whack like that. Let Vicky make it to base, and so the inning continues. Stephanie Morgan is now the hitter. 0 for 2 today, unfortunately, on an infield fly, and I think a nothing ball. That actually would have been a pretty good pitch to swing at, but I did want Vicky to take second base. Sets us up better if Stephanie does get another good pitch here. And that one is looking pretty good. Unfortunately, she fouls it off. 0-2 the count. Stephanie has done reasonably well this series. As you can see, has a .695 average across the Consolation tournament. And ends up successfully hitting that one, but it's going straight to O'Connor, and he is able to catch it for the third out. Hit decently, but not quite hard enough. Needed to be a bit harder to clear him and be a base hit. Oh well, still. So a couple good hits and a home run by Angela gets us 3 runs in the 4th. A lot better than it was looking after we struck out twice to start the inning. Time to see if we can hold our lead here. Zenon with a ground ball. Stephanie goes to gets it, but lets it get past. Fortunately, she still has time to make it to base before he is out at first. 1 out. Sammy Sosa now up. Probably the second most dangerous hitter on this team outside of after Zenon. And smacks one to deep center field. Not going to be a home run, but might be almost just as good as Stewart makes the grab. A nice catch by Stewart to save us from giving up 2 or 3 bases on that hit. And we have 2 outs instead. And Lambert hits it into the ground. I'm smart enough to let Tony make the play himself this time instead of clicking on the ball. Play is made at first for the third out. So another 1-2-3 inning. After the first, we have been duly taking out the Phillies hitters. It is 8-2 going into the 5th. We have 2 more innings to score here. And we're getting into the part of the game where I often am most prone to big rallies. Let's see if we can get one here. and really open this out to being a winning score. 1-on-1 the count on Fernando. It's Crazy 8's starting to stream his game 2 as I'm playing game 3. That's an interesting move. And 2 strikes, hits a nice one towards right. Unfortunately, it one hop straight to Sammy. Fernando cannot catch a break this season. Finally gets one through the gap, only for it to go straight to Sosa, and so 1 out for Tony Del Vecchio. For the third time in 3 at-bats this game, he comes on to hit with nobody on base. In other words, the worst situation to have Tony Del Vecchio hitting it. He is an RBI hitter, but has just not had the setup here. Pops out this time for the 2nd out. Stuart Sullivan up. This time he does not strike out. He does hit the ball straight to Lance Lambert, but Lambert doesn't have the best arm, and he had to jump on the ball. Stuart was almost to the bag before he even threw it. So, Stuart is in fact safe. I'm surprised Esmeralda is still on the mound. Alexis now up, has struck out twice today, not gotten a hit yet. Let's see if that can change here and she can bat in another run or 2. Stuart seals 2nd. About beat the ball to 3rd, so I think I can take 3rd base with him. We'll see. Alexis swings through that one. Lindsay does not throw until too late towards 3rd base, so Stuart does move over. Gonna go for line drive, because any sort of base hit scores Stuart. So hit him for contact. And is it landing? It does land. 1 hops to Frankie, but that is enough for Alexis to get the single and bat in Stuart, and this is now 9-2. Esmeralda moving very slowly there. Brings up Lou and Louie with a runner on 2nd and 2 outs. Gonna go for the hit and run here. If I can put Lulu on 1st and Alexis on 3rd, that would work fantastically. I continue to be amazed that Esmeralda is still on the mound, and that's but it's looking even better in that regard. Wait, what am I saying? Looking even more likely that she'll come off soon now, as she tosses out another special pitch. And Lulu just barely beaten out to 1st by Mickey as she grounded one straight to the pitcher. The ugly side of grounders. It rears its head once again. Promising situation, but Lulu grounds out to end the inning with just 1 run scored, and my RBI hitters coming up next inning with nobody to bat in. Robbie Bacco, the hitter for the Phillies here in the bottom of the 5th. And he strikes out on 3 pitches. His 2nd strikeout, Angela's 6th strikeout of this game. 1 out for the Phillies. Swings and a miss for strike 1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Angela throws it a bit inside. 1-2 the count. Nothing grounder. Fernando is easily able to field it. 2 outs. Esmeralda Hyman, the hitter. Oh, that's good. Should be able to get out of the 5th unscathed, I think. Swings and a miss for strike 2. Let's see if that one hitting delivers for me. Nope, she does put the bat on the ball. Alexis gets it. We're able to get her out at 1st without any trouble. So that's it for the 5th inning. We are going into the 6th, 9-2. My goal here is to score 2 runs. 2 runs will make this another game that beat out my high score of the entire season, regular season. It would be my 5th such game, and that would just feel really nice. So, we'll see. I've gotten huge rallies in the 6th before. That could happen here, and put us in a position to actually potentially win the matchup. I'm going in with more modest expectations, though. Esmeralda with 2 wild pitches, including a slow-mo. She is just begging to be taken off the mound here. 3-0. She's got to be about to lead, right? Walks Tanya on 4 pitches. Watch as she gets swapped to behind the plate right now. Let's see. Angela, the hitter, 2 for 3 today, has hit 1 2-run home run here. I would be super happy if she got another one here. We'll see. Strike 1, Esmeralda actually musters a good pitch here. Meanwhile, Tanya is able to steal second, unsurprisingly. Runner on second with nobody out, no chance for a double play. Fouls a promising looking pitch off. 0-2 the count. That one is just barely outside. Ooh, maybe I should have swung at that one. That looked like exactly the sort of pitch I could be creamed to right. Oh well. Takes ball 2 inside. 2-2 the count. Hoping for a good, juicy pitch here by Esmeralda. That one's high. It is just barely high enough to be ball 3. Full count. Is she going to walk Angela? That would be not the greatest, but it is what we get. So Angela walks. Puts runners on first and second base, a potentially hairy situation. We'll see what happens here. Vicky Kawaguchi is a hitter. Gonna go with line drive. She has hit her way through risky situations that had Angela on base before. Or maybe Esmeralda can stay on the mound long enough to serve up a 3rd walk. I am truly surprised, truly shocked at this point that Esmeralda is still pitching. 1-2. That one's inside. Ball 2. Okay. 2-2 the count. Keep vacillating on whether line drive or grounder is a smarter idea here. Swap into grounder. Vicky fouls another one off. Esmeralda at 70 pitches now. Finally gets taken off the mound, and she is not, I repeat, not being replaced by Lindsay. Frankie Holly is a new pitcher instead. And Vicky almost hits a disastrous ground ball straight to third base. But it takes a hop, bounces past Lance, and everybody is safe. Base is loaded, nobody out. Let's see if Stephanie Morgan can come in clutch here. This is a harrowing situation. I do not know what swing is best to go for here. I feel like ground ball has too much chance of it ending in disaster, though. It would have to go in a very narrow band of places, I think, to be a success. Line drive, have a better chance of, like, just hitting one up the middle. If it gets into center field, it's going to take forever for us to get there, and I think we're okay. And I thought that one was going to be outside, but it is not, just in the strike zone. Steph goes down looking not a good day for her today. First out. Fernando Diaz, a hitter. Still have not scored any runs this inning yet. But let's see if we can make this a true rally here. And knocks him in. Fernando hits one to center, and that is definitely landing. It's going to deep center field, where it is going to take a long time for Esmeralda to get there. Actually, Sammy Sosa is going to beat her. Throwing it in, but even with Sammy throwing it, it's taken a while to get in. And 3 runs get across the plate. We do beat that 10-run mark that we were looking to beat. Fernando has struggled and struggled all season, but he gets a very well-deserved good hit here. 3 RBI double, 12-2 Melonheads. And we finally have a runner on for Tony to try to bat in. Swings at the first pitch he sees, pulls one. That one's going to deep left center as well. Robbie is going to get to that eventually, but not before Fernando has a chance to cross the plate. Holding back with Tony, actually. Not able to get to second, but he does bat in another run. RBI single for Tony. Score is now 13-2 Melonheads. The 6th inning rally is real, folks. 4 runs in already, and hopefully more still to come. Stewart takes strike 1 as Tony goes for second base. Actually going to be a close play there, and he's out! Tony is out at second. Lindsey got him. So that was a mistake. I thought he could make it right up until right before he tried to make the play. I thought he could. Definitely a missed opportunity there. Could definitely have gotten him into second on that play. Oh well. At least we have the bases clear for Stewart, who takes advantage of that to take second base as they throw it past the first baseman. Runner on second, 2 outs. Alexis Weiss a hitter. Decent hit by her, and Stewart will score. Even more so now that Stewart has taken third base. One that goes over the fence, of course, would be best, but we'll see. And that is going over the fence. Alexis smacks one to left. Alexis smacks one to left for a 2-run shot. It is now 15-2 Melonheads. 367-foot bomb. I cannot say a single thing right now correctly, it seems. But oh well, that's 2 more runs in, baby, and the rally continues. Lulu now up after her at-bat. We will have been around the lineup once this inning. Let's see how much farther we can go. If Lulu can make it on base, I think I can trust Tanya to get something good done here. Frankie Holly not having a successful pitching outing. I think his time to get off the mound is coming soon. I have no idea who'd come on. Oh, there you go. And it is Mickey O'Connor coming on to pitch. Not going to provide very good mound defense. We'll see how that's necessary. And Lulu pops one over to third. Lance almost catches it for a heartbreaker of a third out with a pop-up grounder, but he does make the error. Lulu does make it to base. Tanya Uchida up 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, a single, at least 4 RBIs, and a walk. Tanya has had a great game. Looking to make it a bit better by batting in 1 more run here. Lulu's now on second base. Good hit by Tanya, and she will cross the plate. Pops one to right center, but unfortunately, I think this is where the magic ends. It is straight to Zenon. He is able to catch it. Tanya not able to continue her dominance, and so 6 runs it'll be in the 6th. Could have been better, maybe, but, you know, hey, I'll take it. Melonheads now lead 15-2. The only question is, how many runs of that lead can we keep here in the bottom of the 6th, and how many will the Phillies erase? A very open question, if you ask me. Mickey O'Connor, the first hitter, is boosted in batting, remember, so definitely a threat here. 1-2 the count. He is 0 for 1 today, and watches a very nasty strike 3 go by. I wasn't sure that one was going to be a strike, but it was. And there it is now, 1 out. Frankie Holly, the hitter, pops up the first one he hits. Angela's under it. Can she catch it? She can catch it. Angela Del Vecchio catching a baseball. The miracles continue this game. And now, with 2 outs, it is Lindsay Felgate, who is the last hope for the Phillies. I have no idea how much stamina she still has after her stint at catcher all game. In any case, she hits a grounder there that goes to the side, past Tony. Single, and now Zenon Estrada is up. Last time Lindsay singled, Zenon followed it up with a 2-run shot. I really, really hope he does not do it again. Phew! Swings at the first pitch he sees, but this one is not a home run. Grounder in there, it is going to be a single, but it is not a home run. And now Sammy Sosa is up. Oh, man. Sammy Sosa, the hitter now. Out of the frying pan into the fire. Let's see if we can get through this one. Swings at it, chopped into the ground by third. Alexis is able to get it. It is fair. Hits the base, and that's the third out. Game over. Final score, Melonheads 15, Phillies 2.